Welcome back to Same Right Fashion Academy YouTube channel for another interesting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to sew this beautiful cape dress. You'll see right there on the thumbnail, on the video, and on the dress form right here. So this is what the front piece looks like. So you can see the cape is going to be worn after making your corset. So you just make the cape, wear the corset, and then wear your cape on top of it. So I'll be showing you what the back piece of it looks like right now. So this is what the back piece looks like. So you can see it's actually looking very beautiful. So at the center back, you are going to put your hook and eye at that point. Okay, so this is the back look. So if this is what you want to learn in this class, I will encourage you to stay till the end of this tutorial to learn how this beautiful cape is made. So this cape, you can bead it, you can use your applique on it. For what we have on the video there is beaded. So you can just draw your lines of beading and bead it accordingly. So to begin this tutorial, you'll be needing a satin fabric or a raw silk fabric. Okay, so any fabric on the satin family will be nice for this project because it's not too light and it will be able to take your stay. So here you can see I also have my stay. So the stay has to be a thick stay. It can be a peplum stay, it can be a pepper stay. Any stay that can make this structure stand the way it's standing on the video and on the thumbnail. Then another thing you are going to do is to take your round shoulder measurement. So I'll be using this dummy to demonstrate to you how you'll be taking your round shoulder measurement. So if you look at this dummy, there are no hands. But please, you need to pass this through. I'm pretending there are hands attached to it. Okay, so you have to pass your tape around the hands. The hand is supposed to be somewhere here, but I'll pretend there's a hand to it. You can see where I took my round shoulder measurement. So this is just for demonstration. So you put your tape on the body of your client this way or on your own body if you are making the dress for yourself, and take the measurement at the chest line, on the chest like this. And you see what I have on the chest. Please don't take it at the tip. Okay, the measurement you get at the tip of the shoulder and the measurement you take at the tip will never be the same. Okay, so you can just go ahead and give it a try. So after taking that measurement, whatever figure you have, add 1 inch to it. So I've already taken the measurement of this particular cape we are making right now, and what I got was 45. So the length is 45 and the width is constant. The width of this cape is constant. So I've already cut my fabric, and my fabric measures is on fold, so you have to place it on fold. If you place it on fold, you take the length of the length we just measured now. Mine is 45, but I added 1 inch to make it 46 inches. And like I said, the width on fold is 11 inches. It's constant. Can you see? It's 11 inches and it's constant. Now, we are going to carry this one to meet this one. Okay, it's on fold at 11 inches. Then you carry the other tip to meet this. So if you meet this, now this part will be on fold and the measurement will be half of that 46, which is 23. Can you see that? So now the next thing you are going to do is to identify the part that is going to serve as the center front. So here is the center front area. At the center front area, after placing it on fold, you are going to come down by 2 inches. Okay, I'll go to this other end. Sorry, I'll come down, just to come down by 2 inches. So these 2 inches I'm coming down now is going to serve as the, I'll call it the shoulder line of this cape. So just follow what I'm doing. So I'm going to extend these 2 inches. I'm going to extend it just with a dotted line like this. So from here is 2 inches. Now this is the center front. Remember, here is the center back. This is where we have those hook and eye. Okay, that's to hook the cape. There won't be any zipper anyway because the body of the dress already have a zipper. So this is center back and this is center front, the center of the front. Now you are going to measure from the neckline. So the neckline, I'm going to use 3 by 3. Okay, you can increase your neckline if you want, but I'll use 3 inches on the dead because we'll still sew half an inch to have it at 3.5. Remember, we are working directly on fabric. So I'll do 3 by 3. Let me do the width as 3.5. Width is 3.5, but depth from that 2 inches is what? 3 inches. So I'll just connect my neckline. All right, so after connecting the neckline, I'll come back to the back. So to the back, I'm going to only measure half an inch. So I'll just measure half an inch to serve as that the sewing allowance, which I'm going to use for my hook and eye. Now from that sewing allowance, I'm going to measure 3.5 inches. Remember, the width here is 3.5. The back neckline will remain 3.5. But now the depth of my neckline here, I'm going to make it 1 inch. So this 1 inch now, I'll connect my neckline. Can you see that? I'll connect my neckline. So now, after connecting this neckline, that is the back. So we are going to get the center of this cape. So to get the center of this cape, just pick here and match it to this half an inch, because this part we are going to sew it off like we do in zipper, or I would say we do in this is center back, in fact. So just bring it from here to here. So we've gotten where the shoulder, the arm is going to be. Notch up and down of it like this. So you just place notches up and down. So after placing the notch up and down, you open up the dress. So now we already know that this is where the shoulder is going to be. So at that point where the shoulder is going to be, I'll still use a line like this. I'll mark it to identify a line. So the next thing we are going to do now, if you look at that part of the shoulder, there is a kind of at this arm line, we'll see it's lifted like this. So you just place your ruler from that neckline. You can see how I place my pattern ruler. Use it and make that curve. Okay. Then, and also use it again on this side and make the next curve, just to have that tilted design. Can you see that? I believe my chalk is visible here. So what I did is to place a curve here to make it look higher. Okay. So now, after making that part to look higher, Now we want to also come up by 2 inches here on the down piece. So we'll come up by 2 inches and mark. So that 2 inches, I will come to the center front 2 and mark the 2 inches. So we are going to also repeat the same thing, but this time around, place your tape at that center and find the midpoint on that 2 inches. So I have 11 inches, the midpoint is here, so I'll just mark that midpoint. So for this, all we are going to do is, so after you have gotten this midpoint, to create this curve very well, just go up by 1 inch on that point. That's so that the curve will curve very well for you. So if I use my pattern ruler, let me see what I can have from there. Okay, so you can actually place your pattern ruler like this and create the curve pointing to this midline, and then also use the same part of the pattern ruler and create the curve again. So we just want to get a curve, that's all. Can you see? So just create that curve so it matches nice and fine. Okay, so I think we have the curve. So the same thing we did here, we are going to do it over here again, but instead of going ahead to repeat this, I'll show you what to do. So you have the curves. So if you curve here and here, I think it's very much okay. So what we are going to do is to cut. We are going to cut right now. Okay, so we are going to cut, but before we cut, just go over to the neckline, cut the front neckline first. We are going to cut the front neckline first. Okay, so once you cut the front neckline, I'll just add on the top, I'm going to add half an inch. Just add half an inch. So we use half an inch to stitch on that line. Then you come down and also cut, adding half an inch too. I'll just add half an inch. Okay, so what I was trying to explain is that to make it uniform, once you cut the front, come over and cut the back neckline. So once you cut the back neckline, then you are going to place what you have here on that line. Just fold it on that line. Can you see? Fold it on that line, which is the arm line. So at that arm line, just simply follow the cuts you have here. Okay, so that it will be equal on both ends. Okay, so that makes it equal on both ends. Can you see that? So everything is equal. So you can just clean up the edges. All right. Okay. So you can see the shape of your cape. So that is what we have now as our cape. So I'm going to open this cape. So when I open this cape right now, After sewing it, we are going to have it like this. The notch place, it will be like this. Can you see? That's how it's going to look like it is in the thumbnail. So what I'm going to do now is we are going to stay only one part of this cape. So just cut it. You know here is unfold, so you know here is unfold. Just separate it. One will serve as lining and one will serve as front. So I'll just go ahead and separate it. So I'm going to stay only one. Please don't stay two. My heart stay will go to one. My heart stay will go to one. So I'm just detaching them. All of them are that part that is folded. Okay, so this is what you have for one and this is what you have for the other. So I will go and hairstay one and stay one. Okay, I'm using hairstay for one. So I'm done with the hairstay right now. I hairstayed one piece and stayed one part. So I encourage you to use a medium stay so that you'll be able to turn this very well. So I went over to the ironing table and I made sure I stayed it. So one part is stayed and the other part is hair stayed. So you can see that. So I'm placing them very well. Make sure you place them very well and secure with your pins. So I'm arranging them. So you can see I made pointy parts. As you can see. So make sure that part is pointy, not squared. On the fabric it was squared, but when I was cutting my stay, I made it pointy. So it's supposed to be pointy. So make sure you pin everything. If you don't pin well, you will not have a good result. So you can see me taking my time to ensure I pin all of those edges. So I'm going to also pin the neckline, arrange the front neckline very well, and arrange the back neckline very well. So the neckline, we are going to sew at 1/2 inch, and on the side we are going to sew at 1/2 inch. The only part we are going to leave open now is this shoulder area. So you can see that is what we are going to sew. So I've already stitched the back neckline, as you can see, and I told you to secure with your pin. So I've already stitched the front neckline too, as you can see. So I'm stitching the where we have those keyholes. So I started stitching from the pointy parts. So I just want to show you the technique I'm using to stitch this sharp parts. Okay, so I'm stitching at 0.5 inch. I'm stitching at 0.5 inch. So I just follow the curve. I want you to watch. Here is very important to understand how I teach. You stitch it exactly at 0.5. Don't go and be making it pointy. You can see at that pointy part 0.5. Then you start again at another 0.5. Can you see? So wherever they meet is going to form the pointy part. So you can see where they meet. You stitch at 0.5, stitch at 0.5. So that's why I want to show you how I'm stitching it. So like that, it makes that pointy part come out very, very well. So I'm going to sew now. At 0.5 again. Wherever I have pointy parts, I'll sew and start again. So if you don't know how to sew pointy parts, at least you have used the one stone to kill two birds in this tutorial. So I'll sew off and then close the side at 0.5. So you have to actually pin this cape or else it will be difficult for you. So that is how I'm going to stitch the other side, okay, before I turn. So after stitching, this is what I have. So I'm going to place notches on the curvy parts. So make sure you place notches. Take your time and place your notches so you'll be able to turn this part very well. So you can see it's actually very curvy. So that curvy part of it needs notches to enable you turn it. So I'm going to turn right now. So I have a technique of turning pointy parts. I want you to pay attention. You can see how I folded it to turn. So on the seam lines, I folded them on the seam lines and I'm turning them accordingly. So I'll just take my time and turn those pointy parts from the open shoulder area. So I'll keep turning them, as you can see right there. So if you use this method to turn the pointy part, it's usually very beautiful. So I'll go ahead to the ironing table to iron out the cape. So I'll just keep ironing it, making sure the seam line is in between the lining and the fabric. So I'll give it a good press. So take your time, don't rush it, just take your time, give it a good press, as you can see. So I'm ironing like that. So after ironing it, this is what I have after ironing. So this is the center front and this is the center back. So I've tucked in and ironed that 1/2 inch. So we still have the shoulder part open. Okay, so now this is the front piece of this cape, and we are going to lay it right side to right side from here, right side to right side. So here is going to meet here and we are going to stitch to that point. So I'll just go ahead and hold it down from here, just hold it down. Then you bring here to here and then hold it down. So I'll go over to the machine now. I'm going to stitch from this to this at 1/2 inch. I'll also stitch from here to here at 1/2 inch. So this is where we are going to have our clip. So I'll adjust it a little bit. So the clip is going to be right here. So I'll go over now to stitch. I've gone ahead to stitch the shoulder part right now. So you go over to the weaving machine and weave it. But for tutorial purpose, I'll just trim it a little bit, as you can see right now. So I'll trim it and then I'll turn it accordingly. So make sure you turn it nicely so you have a good result. So I'm done ironing it and this is what I have on the cape. So you can see it's actually looking very beautiful. Okay, so the width we have from here to here, after stitching, we have 10 inches, and the neckline here we have 6 inches. Okay, so if you want to make your cape longer, that means we took 11 by 46, so you can increase the length by 12 inches. That is if you want. So I'm going to place this on the dress form. So if you have a corset, so this is going to be 1. So I have a corset I just made. So this is how you are going to sew your corset. You sew it completely like this. Then this is going to, you are going to wear it this way into the corset. That is how you are going to wear the cape. Can you see that? So once you wear your corset, you now wear your cape. So this is how we come to the end of this tutorial. So I believe you learned a lot. So just go ahead and put your hook and eye at the back where you wear it. So thank you very much for coming to this tutorial once again, and see you in the next class. Bye.